Coming up on this Tuesday edition of Daybreak, President Park Geun-hye accepts Welfare Minister Jin Young's resignation over a new pension plan. The pension debate was a hot potato at Parliament. With North Korea's mounting nuclear threats, South Korea and the US reportedly see eye to eye on the need to consider postponing the 2015 transfer of wartime operational control from Washington to Seoul. Plus, with time running out towards a possible shutdown, the US Senate rejects a House temporary budget bill that delays President Obama's controversial health care reforms. Daybreak begins now.
You're watching Daybreak on Tuesday, October 1st, and I'm Choi Yusan in Seoul. Let's start things off at the nation's presidential office, where President Park Geun-hye has accepted the resignation of Welfare Minister Jin Young, having initially rejected Jin's offer to take the fall for revisions to her pension program. Our Kim Ji-yeon has the details.
President Park Geun-hye accepted the resignation of her Welfare Minister Jin Young Monday evening amid disagreements over a new pension plan unveiled last week. In an apparent criticism of Jin, President Park had urged her cabinet members and senior secretaries to have a sense of duty in pushing ahead with state affairs.
어려울 때일수록 국민을 위해서 최선을 다하고 각자의 임무에 충실할 때 국민들에게 신뢰를 받을 수 있을 것입니다. 비판을 피해간다고 문제가 해결되지는 않습니다. 당당하게 모든 문제를 해결해낼 수 있다는 의지와 신념이 결국 그 문제를 해결해낼 수 있는 것입니다.
The president's critics say that Jin's move demonstrates that President Park is struggling to resolve differences on key policies with related ministries, and some speculate that a cabinet reshuffle may not be far off. But Prime Minister Chung Hong-won dismissed that speculation outright and added that he regretted Jin's, quote, irresponsible move to step down. Over the weekend, Jin reiterated his intention to step down and told reporters that he had opposed and still opposes the idea of linking the new basic pension program with the national pension. Under the new basic pension plan, only the lower 70% income bracket of senior citizens aged 65 and above will receive up to 200,000 won, or about $186. However, even for those in the bottom 70%, basic pension payments will be reduced in accordance with how long they have contributed to the national pension system, with 1 in 10 receiving as little as $93. President Park had pledged to provide the maximum pension to all Koreans in this age group, regardless of income level. Kim Ji-yeon, Arirang News.
The country's lawmakers returned to Parliament Monday, nearly a month after the start of the regular session. From President Park's pension plan to the welfare minister's resignation, the rival parties will continue to lock horns over the next few weeks. Our political correspondent Kim Hyun-ji has more.
The National Assembly convened the first full-member meeting of the first regular session under the Park Geun-hye administration on Monday. This puts an end to a nearly 1 month-long period of parliamentary inactivity, and the rival parties are expected to clash head-on over a string of contentious issues going forward. That's precisely what happened at the first meeting of the Parliament's Health and Welfare Committee Monday. First, President Park's Health and Welfare Minister Jin Young, who over the weekend reiterated his intent to resign from his post, despite the president's refusal to accept his resignation, failed to show up for the meeting. The welfare minister was quoted as saying on Sunday that he had opposed and still opposes linking the new basic pension plan for seniors with the national pension program, announced by the government last week. His absence prompted opposition lawmakers on the Welfare Committee to launch an all-out offensive against the government's pension plan, saying it's a bad plan that even the president's welfare minister and one of her closest aides cannot agree with. Meanwhile, the committee's ruling party lawmakers argued that the welfare minister's absence is regrettable, but that their job is to focus on why the government had to scale back the pension plan and how they should move forward. On Tuesday, the National Assembly will hold an emergency hearing to question the government about why it scaled back the pension plan for seniors, retreating on a major campaign pledge made last December. Lawmakers will also focus on finding out what prompted the sudden resignation of the nation's top prosecutor, Choi Dong-wook, who officially ended his term on Monday. Kim Hyun-ji, Arirang News.
It's a busy week for top military officials from Korea and the U.S. who are gathering for a series of significant defense talks on pending bilateral issues, including the delay of transfer of wartime operational control. Our Defense Ministry correspondent Han Da-eun has the details.
Top military officials from Korea and the U.S. came together for the 38th Bilateral Military Committee meeting in Seoul on Monday, with a wide range of pending issues on the table.
Tomorrow marks the 60th year since Korea and the United States signed the Mutual Defense Treaty. It's very meaningful to hold the military committee meeting at a time like this.
During the closed-door meeting, Korea's chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Chung Seung-jo, and his visiting counterpart, U.S. Army General Martin Dempsey, have reportedly agreed on the need to delay the transfer of wartime operational control from the U.S. to Korea, originally slated for 2015. The issue is not yet resolved, as Seoul is awaiting an official response from Washington. Defense Minister Kim Kwon-jin asked U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel for a delay in May, citing increasing missile and nuclear threats from North Korea. Monday's talks were held as a prelude to the Korea-U.S. Security Consultative meeting set for Wednesday, where the issue will be further discussed by Hagel and Minister Kim. But officials predict the two are unlikely to come up with a conclusion this time around, considering the numerous inherent complications involved. Right before departing for Korea, Hagel had also told reporters it's too early to decide on a possible delay of the UPCON transfer. Also part of the agenda was discussion of a customized Korea-U.S. deterrent strategy against North Korea's nuclear threats. Although the details have yet to be disclosed, Generals Chung and Dempsey have reportedly finished drawing up a specific deterrence plan, which is expected to be finalized by the military chiefs of the two countries at Wednesday's Security Consultative meeting. Han Da-eun, Arirang News.
Back at the presidential office, President Park has blamed the Japanese leadership for impeding the trust-building process between the two countries. She made the remarks when visiting U.S. Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel on Monday, brought up the need for Seoul and Tokyo to resolve their historical issues for a stronger security cooperation with Washington. Stating that the Abe cabinet and Japanese lawmakers continue to make comments that hurt and even insult the Korean people, including wartime sex slaves, President Park said the strained relations cannot be resolved unless Tokyo displays sincerity. Korea has blasted the Japanese government for downplaying and covering up the radiation leaks at the Fukushima nuclear power plant. Korea's Minister of Oceans and Fisheries, Yoon Jin-suk, criticized Tokyo for its, quote, immoral acts and said Japan had a duty to inform its neighbors that it was planning to contaminate the ocean by releasing hundreds of tons of radioactive water. Yoon added that Tokyo's, quote, absurd actions had seriously affected Korean fishermen and said she wondered if Seoul had to tolerate such actions under diplomatic protocols. Seoul slapped an import ban on all fishery products from a number of Japanese prefectures, including Fukushima, last month due to possible health risks to Korean consumers. Korean construction firms are winning more projects overseas, mostly on large-scale orders from Asian and Middle Eastern countries. New data from the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport shows the number of deals signed by domestic firms in the first 9 months of the year jumped 13% from the same period last year. The total value of the deals now amounts to some $45 billion, including one deal for a thermal power plant in Saudi Arabia worth more than $3 billion. The government's crackdown on tax evasion launched to expand the nation's revenue base and root out corruption is in full swing. The National Tax Service said on Monday that it had collected around $690 million so far this year by tracking down conglomerates and wealthy households with assets of more than $46.5 million. Who are suspected of hiding money in offshore accounts to avoid paying taxes. The NTS is also planning to broaden its investigation into tax evasion after a new law takes effect this November, which would make it easier for the government to obtain information on taxpayers' cash transfers. The crackdown on tax evasion is part of larger efforts by the Park Geun-hye administration to regulate the illegal exchange of money and goods in the nation's underground economy.
If you want the latest news from Korea and around the world.
Return to the negotiations.
President Park Geun-hye plans, given the current circumstances.
On your way to work or at home.
Defense Ministry. The legislature will convene a.
Tune into Daybreak on Arirang TV.
Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said Tuesday the U.S. government is inching closer to its first shutdown in nearly 2 decades after the Senate rejected a budget bill passed by the Republican-led House of Representatives that would delay President Obama's health care law by a year. Within minutes of convening on Monday, the Democratic-led Senate voted 54-46 against the bill. If no decision is reached by midnight U.S. Eastern Time or 1 p.m. Korea time on Tuesday, the U.S. government will close all non-essential federal services, and more than 700,000 federal government workers could be sent home on unpaid leave. The confrontation stems from a push by Republicans to reject key parts of Obamacare, major portions of which are to take effect on Tuesday. Syria's foreign minister claims a number of regional and, quote, well-known Western countries are supplying the rebels with chemical weapons. Addressing the UN General Assembly on Monday, Walid Mualem said that whether those countries will abide by their legal commitments remains in question, and he emphasized Syria's commitment to get rid of its chemical weapons under the Chemical Weapons Convention. Meanwhile, a group of UN inspectors investigating the alleged use of chemical weapons in Syria left Damascus after ending their second mission in 2 months. A comprehensive report is due sometime this month. Another group of UN experts are en route to Damascus to begin the process of verifying and eliminating Syria's chemical weapons. South Korea is set to celebrate the country's 65th Armed Forces Day on this Tuesday with a grand national ceremony in Seoul. The Defense Ministry says the parade will feature displays of some 100 military vehicles carrying Korea's latest weapons, while about 4,500 troops will be marching along. Prior to the parade, there will be a ceremony at the Seoul Air Base in Gyeonggi Province with the participation of President Park Geun-hye and the military chiefs from South Korea and the U.S., Kim Kwon-jin and Chuck Hagel. You will want to avoid using both sides of the roadways near City Hall, Seoul Station, Jonggak Station, Namdaemun Gate, and the Sejong intersection, as they will be partially or completely shut off to traffic from 1 to 5 p.m. A military fair this week aims to raise public awareness about the Korean military and provide hands-on experiences of basic military service, including Army cuisine. Kim Hyun-bin sent us this report.
The Korean military is having a fair in downtown Seoul this month to give the public a glimpse of what active duty soldiers go through during their roughly 1 year and 9 months of service. Hosted by the Ministry of Defense, the event is being held in a year filled with military milestones and aims to educate people about the service by inviting them to participate in some fun activities.
This year marks the 65th Armed Forces Day, the 60th year since the Korean armistice and the 60th anniversary of the Korea-U.S. alliance. This is a festival not only for the military but for ordinary people.
They had all the latest military gear on display, and the best part for some people was they got to try it all on for themselves.
My dream is to become an officer. It was fun to experience it here, but the pack is heavy, so it's a little tough.
Most popular was the snack corner, where there were several popular military snacks up for grabs.
What I have in my hand is gundaeria, a military-style hamburger, which is a very popular breakfast item among active cadets. At this fair in downtown Seoul, ordinary people could get a little taste of what it's like to be in the Korean military.
Even foreigners were in for the ride.
I got guided here by some tourist information. We tried the food and the uniforms, and we saw the pictures. It was kind of cool seeing Korean's military history. Very informative.
The fair is scheduled to run through October 2nd. Kim Hyun-bin, Arirang News.
And a good Tuesday morning to you all, but not so much so if your name is Park Geun-hye. That's right, manager Hong Myung-bo announced his latest roster for the upcoming October friendlies, and Park Geun-hye was not included once again. With the Arsenal striker not seeing any playing time with his English side, manager Hong Myung-bo has decided to leave him off the roster once again. However, rejoining the national team will be midfielder Ki Sung-young of Sunderland, who finally gets the nod. Of course, Ki was left off the roster amid the SNS controversy, but will be given a second chance going into the friendlies against Brazil and Mali. And staying in football, but over in the Netherlands, where Park Ji-sung's latest injury is a concern to the team and his fans. With Park Ji-sung and PSV Eindhoven taking on AZ Alkmaar this past weekend, Park Ji-sung injures his ankle and was taken off the game early on. And while X-ray results has not been released just yet, the 32-year-old midfielder did not participate in PSV's training on Monday. Team officials stated that while it's nothing to be worried about just yet, they are being cautious as PSV prepares for the Europa League. And moving on to the Korean Basketball League, the upcoming KBL season will be an exciting one as the 2013 KBL draft class was pretty stacked. In fact, with the KBL draft taking place on Monday, the LG Sakers came out on top with the first pick. And with the first pick overall, the LG Sakers selected Kyunghee University center Kim Jong-gyu, who averaged nearly 20 points per game and over 10 rebounds per game, with over 2 blocks per game as well. Meanwhile, 2 other Kyunghee University stars went second and third overall, as KCC selected Kim Min-gu while Dongbu selected Tu Kyung-min. If you're a baseball fan here in the nation, you gotta love what's going on right now in the pennant race. Just a few more games left in the regular season, and we still don't know who's going to win the pennant. But these 4 teams aren't going anywhere. The Kia Tigers beat the NC Dinos 3-0, and the Lotte Giants all over the SK Wyverns 7-1. So with that said, let's take a look at the other 2 games that took place last night, starting off with the Doosan Bears and the LG Twins facing off in Seoul. We're going into the game. Here we start off in the second inning of the game. Here's Kim Jae-ho with an RBI double to left, scores Lee Won-suk, and it's 1-0 Doosan. Next play, here's Hug Young-mi. He's going to drill this one to deep left center field. This splits the gap, and it's a 2-run triple as Doosan takes an early 3-0 lead. We're going to shift over to the 4th inning of the game. Here's Min Byung-hun, a 2-run single to left, and already it's 5-0. 6th inning, LG is going to answer back here with Lee Byung-gyu's RBI single to right. Before this next play, check this out. Chung Sung-hoon grounds this one to third. Lee Won-suk decides to go home. Oh Ji-hwan scores, and everyone's safe. 5-2 Doosan. 7th inning, here's Choi Ju-hwan pinch hitting with the bases loaded. Sends one to left, a sac fly. Extends Doosan's lead to 6-2. Now, bottom of the ninth inning we go here. Tucson up 7-2. Kim Yong-hee with an RBI single to right field, and all of a sudden, it's 7-3. Next play, bases loaded for Ojuan at bat. Can he be the hero? No, he pops up to third. Ball game over. The Tucson Bears take this game 7-3. And next up, the Samsung Lions taking on the Hanwha Eagles. Second inning, Choi Hyung-woo leads off the inning, and he absolutely crushes this ball to deep right field. No doubt about his solo shot for the former MVP. Next batter, here's Lee Jung-sik, an RBI single to right, and it's 2-0 Samsung. Next batter, Kim Sang-soo, an RBI single to center. Lee Sang-hoon comes in to score, and it's 3-0 Samsung. Fourth inning here, here's Lee Jung-sik once again. He sends this one to deep left field. There it goes, a 2-run shot, and it's now 5-0. Fifth inning, more long balls. This time it's Park Sung-min. Hello and goodbye. A solo shot over the left center field wall. Seventh inning, here's the fourth Samsung home run on the night. This time, Park Geun-hye joins the group. A 3-run shot to deep right center field, and it's now 9-0. Same inning, Hanwha's Chung Hyun-suk at bat. This one is going to be a solo shot that cuts the deficit here, but no matter because the Samsung Lions absolutely crushed the Hanwha Eagles 9-2. And with all that said, that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great rest of the day, and see you guys again for your sports needs.
Good morning, I'm Lee Ji-hyun with your latest weather forecast. Well, it's October, and October is a busy month for Korea. We have 2 national holidays and full of festivals ahead of us. The reason we have some of the biggest events being held nationwide is because of the stunning weather condition in October. And today should be also a good day to be outside with mild daytime highs that's hovering mid to upper 20s in most regions. Well, right now only a few patches of clouds are passing by here and there, but as we are going through the afternoon, more clouds will be rolling into the nation as we will be at the edge of the high-pressure system situated in the North Korea. But for this morning, we will be waking up to mostly sunny skies. Now, tomorrow, however, we do expect showers in the central regions in the afternoon, and we could notice a change in the air tomorrow. And I assume a lot of you are planning to head outside and spend some outdoor with your family and friends on Thursday, which is a national holiday, a National Foundation Day here in Korea. But expect much cooler conditions on Thursday as it will be only reaching to the high teens in most regions in the afternoon, but there's gonna be nothing but sunshine, so keep this in mind and plan accordingly for your Thursday. Now, today's forecast to be the typical autumn weather with lots of clouds, so let's take a look at those readings. The morning lows are starting out in the late teens, but the daytime highs in Seoul will rise to 26 degrees Celsius, which is 79 degrees in Fahrenheit, and the afternoon highs in Daegu and Busan will be 27, while Gwangju reaches 28, so it might be a little bit hot in Gwangju. Now let's see how other regions are looking. It looks like Jeju and Daejeon will have similar afternoon highs and will be hovering in the mid to late 20s, while Mount Kumgang stays breezy under lots of clouds. Now that's all for Korea, and here's the global forecast for viewers around the world. That's all for me at this hour. Enjoy your morning commute and hope you have a wonderful Tuesday.
And those are the stories we have for you at this hour. Thank you for being with us.